So I'm in the comments of Diamond Hands Detailing, and this individual said 175 is not bad. I have this guy quoted me 299. I said hell no. Well, if the guy quoted him $299, it's because of the condition of the vehicle. So one car that may take the same exact size car may only take an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay, but another car, same exact size, may take 6 to 8 hours based off the condition of the vehicle. Obviously, this guy right here, his car was in a rancid condition. And the detailer, knowing that, hey, if I do this car, it's going to take me a whole entire day to do this car based off the condition it's in. You have to understand, if you look at this car right here, that this detailer is doing, the car is not in a horrible condition. He's really just doing a maintenance detail. You can take a look and you can see that the mats are pretty clean, and he just started. You can see right here, he's just now starting to blow out the dash and everything. So you can tell that the car is in pretty good shape. So him charging 175 for this car or truck that's not in bad condition might be too much money in most people's case. Then you have another comment here that it's saying, somebody get me a short list of tools to start a side business just like this gentleman, please. There's no short list when it comes down to detailing people cars. There's no short list at all. It does take a lot of equipment to detail people cars, whether it's just the interior or it's just the exterior. Can you buy a few items and go in detail? Yeah, you can. But the quality of work that you're going to be able to complete, it can actually kill your business before you start your business up. It's going to take you between bare minimum, I would say maybe around 1,800, but I would really say 3,000 to really get it up and going. And this is without having a water tank, which you should get you a low profile water tank, and a generator, which you should get you a generator that's running around 4 to 5,000 watts. Now, on the high end, you want to get you a 5,000 watt generator. You're going to be running your compressor and your vacuum at the same time. That actually takes up a lot of energy right there. If you have a second person with you, then you may be running two vacuums at the same time and your compressor, or two compressors at the same time. So you're going to need to have high wattage. If you were trying to detail at home, you would only be able to run one machine at a time. If you were trying to run two machines, it's likely that you're going to have to go to your power box and switch it on and off. And after about the second or third time, you realize that you cannot run two machines at the same time, which means it takes you more time per detail. Here's a more realistic comment. How do you compare? Sorry. How do you complete an entire interior and exterior in an hour and a half? I know guys with 20 years of experience that can't do them under 3 hours. Okay, so it depends on what you need to be done on the exterior. If it's just a wash, and maybe a spray on wax, then it's not going to take that long. It may take about an hour, hour and a half. If you're removing the brake dust from the wheelbarrow, and all of the other things that's included in it, and at the same time, usually when it comes down to an exterior detail, you're also doing iron remover, your clay barring. This is when you're calling it a detail, when it's a full service to the exterior of the vehicle, as well as bug removal, window cleaning. You may be polishing certain little scratches, microfiber scratches. People sometimes throw that in as a free service, but generally that's maybe to one or two panels. It's not going to be to the whole entire car. They're not going to polish the whole vehicle. Some shops are fast-paced shops, meaning that they have three guys that are going to be doing your car at the same time. One guy will get in the car and start cleaning out the inside of the car after it's blown out. They'll start cleaning the inside of the car while the other two guys are doing the exterior of the car. Exterior of the car gets complete. They open up the doors, and now another guy gets in, and then the third guy might be doing the trunk area. So it all depends on how they have their setup. But again, it depends on the method people are using, because like in this video, this car is not that bad. Now, when based off of what I'm noticing when I'm looking at the vehicle is maintained pretty good. So this particular cleaning is a basic clean. Now, if you have a mobile detailer coming out to you, it's gonna cost you. They have to lug around. They're lugging around 30 gallons of water. That's wear and tear to your tires. That also burns more gas. You have additional weight to your vehicle, and it's offsetting the weight of the vehicle because the tank will probably be in the rear. But I'm not going to get into all of that. What I did notice is that the vehicle isn't that bad, so it's a maintenance clean on this particular vehicle. A maintenance clean should take you about an hour to an hour and a half. It may take up to 2 hours. So the last guy in the comments who was saying 3 hours, he's not thinking about what kind of cleaning it is. Is it a basic, or is it a gold tier, or is it a platinum tier? And based off of the condition of the vehicle, no, the vehicle is not in the type of condition where it's going to take an excessive amount of time. However, if it's a basic package is primarily steam is used to clean the vehicle. I didn't see him using any steam, and I seen him spraying down the dash, but it looks like when he was spraying down the dash, he was using a non-surfactant, meaning it's not gonna when you agitate it, it's not gonna foam up. Okay, it's almost like using a Armor All wipe. So it does remove 1 or 2 layers to 3 layers, maybe at the most. It's pretty much like dust in the vehicle. And then when he's done with the plastics, he's gonna go in and he's gonna steam the seats. And believe it or not, the steam does remove 1 or 2 layers of dirt because he's gonna wrap a microfiber towel around the triangle head of the steamer, and then he's gonna go over the fabric of the seats and the carpet itself. Generally, most detailers, they will spray a solution on the seats, let it dwell for a few minutes, and then start hitting it with the steam. This is so that they can pick up more dirt. It depends on the condition of the vehicle. Now you notice that he's using a sprayer to add the tire gel to the car. Okay, so this allows him to actually move a lot more quicker and efficient. If you invest in the right tools, this is going to allow you to move faster to get the job done. But what you can notice is that up under the wheels, they're not levitated. So he's going to have to roll the car backwards in order to get the rest of the chemical on there. But sometimes you have detailers don't know what they're doing, and they don't move the car and finish coating the wheel. So that is a common mistake, and it all depends on what's being spent on the vehicle. And sometimes detailers are just adding certain add-ons just so that they can make sure that they lock in your business or show you the difference of the quality of work if you were to pay a little bit more on your detail. So, and as you can see, he's showing in his truck right here, you can see that he has a water tank. He also has a generator here. He has the hose reel for the, I think that's probably for the water, not the water, but for the air itself, but other things. Now, when you're first starting off detailing, you don't really need to get the generator. You can just tell people that you usually use the electricity from whatever location that you're at. You can also ask if it's okay to use their water. If For a lot of people, what they don't understand is that when you're doing mobile detailing, a lot of times that is included in the price. The electricity that they're using on the generator, because they're going to need to refill the generator with gasoline, and then the water itself. So it takes a lot of water to clean a car, but it's going to take less water to clean that car, the exterior of the car, using water from the house and a pressure washer. Pressure washers use less water. Now, in this other detail, he's doing a leather cleaning to the detail. Now, as you can see, when he's cleaning the leather, you can see that it's turning white. Okay, that means that he is using a surfactant cleaner on the leather. He's actually cleaning the leather, and at least it's looking like it's foaming up. I could be wrong. He may have just sprayed a lot of 3-in-1 on the seats. A good detailer will use different products to clean the leather of the seats. You don't use a 3-in-1. That's a maintainer. That's not what you use to detail a car. If you use that to detail a car, the seats are going to look too oily, and you're putting the chemical on top of dirt. Now, don't get me wrong, the 3-in-1 does state that it's a cleaner and everything, but it's honestly, when it comes down to cleaning it really, to me, it seems like it just takes longer time, and you're not really able to see or notice if you're really removing the amount of dirt that you should. Using a lighter microfiber towel, like a yellow one, will allow you to kind of observe whether the seats are really dirty. So he did a couple cars. He finished for $475 was his total. He got some tips as well. Again, it all depends on the detailer that you're using. Like, you had the guy in the comments that was stating that how in the heck are you able to, do a interior and exterior in that amount of time and everything. Again, it depends on the package people are choosing, the method, and if they have help or no help at all and everything. But at the end of the day, you can shop around, but you can end up coming across the wrong person using the wrong method on your car. Like in these cars that I've seen him detailing, they wasn't that bad. Remember, I'm sorry I couldn't play the video, but when I seen him cleaning the dash and the steering wheel, okay, I seen him using a surfactant cleaner, and it was a maintenance detail. That's bad. That's not good. And the reason being is because the detailer was using a heavier chemical when it was a maintenance clean, meaning that the car was not that dirty. It doesn't require a surfactant. So you take risk in damaging people's plastics inside of their vehicle. If you're using a all-purpose cleaner, say Super Clean, which I love that product, but I only use it on the carpets. I don't use it on the plastics because it's a degreaser. Plastics have oils inside of it. You don't want to use that on plastics. You're going to strip it. And when you're looking at like black plastic and everything, those things will look ashy, which is oxidation, because they're stripped. And that's why you can hear some people saying that they had a bad experience and they rather just clean their own car. They don't want to take their cars to have it detailed. But sometimes they already have oxidation because of a previous detailer that cleaned the car, or because they were using the wrong chemicals, but they also put a coating on top of it, a UV protectant on there. That's going to give you a matte black look. So you're not even noticing that you have oxidation to your plastics in your car at the time. It's not until it actually wears off, and then you realize, hey, wait, why does it look all kind of like blackish white and everything? That's because it was stripped, and now you have that permanent damage and everything. You can use heat to kind of cover that up, but the problem with that is that the heat is like a temporary fix. It's not a permanent fix. But at the end of the day, if the customer is happy with the work that you did, if you only taking an hour and a half or 2 hours and it's not absolutely perfect, but it's perfect to the customer, then you did a good job. You did what you were supposed to be doing. However, at the same time, anybody spending over $100, for a lot of people that spend over $100, they think that that's too much, and it shouldn't cost that much to detail the vehicle and everything. But sometimes they don't say anything, or they don't even think that way because the car looks really good at the end of the day. My prices on my website, they're not that bad. I mean, for a coupe sedan, a basic is going to run you $85. But if you're looking at a deep clean, which is the platinum, you're looking at $145. However, you can see things like the platinum extreme conditions 100 and the extreme conditions 200, which is the level 3 and everything. I have to depend on people scrolling down, reading some of the information here so that they actually know what that means when it comes down to the extreme conditions. It's a add-on. That's why it says Platinum Plus Level 2 Extreme Conditions. But I have to redo my website on Shopify to explain what that is, because if they just come on here and they hit the sedan, the gold, for the 115, which is, for me, that is a bit low. But if they go and they hit the gold and they schedule that detail, the problem with that is that if the car is in worse condition and they didn't add that, they didn't add the other stuff to it. Sorry, I meant to hit the platinum there. They go and then they schedule their time and they go to book that particular detail. As of right now, if they know that they need a deeper clean, they need to scroll down and go to the a la carte. And they need to go in at the a la carte and they want to add in either the A38 or A39 or the A40 for a deeper clean. Because as of right now, I'm just going to spray a base level of solution into the seats. And then I'm going to, well, on the gold tier, I'm going to hit it with foam. On the platinum tier, I'm going to hit it with the solution into the seats, agitate, and then spray some foam on it. Generally, I just spray the solution and then give it a couple minutes to dwell, and then I spray the foam, agitate with a drill brush, and then I go into extract. So how much solution I'm going to spray in is dependent on what plan they choose. So if you have some staining, but they're not that old or not that much liquid has spilled, you want to add on the extreme conditions level 2. Now, if you have old staining, you want to add in the A39. If you have a car that has not been detailed and it has steep, there's set-in stains, there's mold, mildew, the car needs to be cleaned out thoroughly because you've been using it like a trash receptacle, then yeah, you need to go up to the platinum level 4 and add that to the cart. So when that adds that to the cart, that's going to change things. Okay, I had to redo that. That's going to change the total cost to $445, but you can make payments of $40.16. So if you're in the Toledo area, you don't want to pay all that money up front, you want to really deep clean, you can go this route. You can have a payment plan even without the deep clean. So let's remove the deep clean. The payment plan goes down to $36.25 for $145 in total. Last but not least, when you're dealing with a detailer, mobile detailer, whether they're coming in using your water or they are, you're taking it to their home or something like that, you have to understand something. If it's a mobile detailer and they're able to tell you the pH level of the water that they have, that's a pretty good detailer, because you have to use the right water and you have to use the right chemicals when doing the exterior of the car. Because if you don't use pH neutral soaps, if you don't use a water with a certain pH level, then you're going to end up causing water spots. A lot of people don't realize this, but water spots can cause etching into your paint surface or your wax or your ceramic coating. And now you are at a stage where you have to have that car polished and or buffed to remove those etching in it. Same thing if you have sap on your car, that's going to be additional money that you have to spend to have that removed, because a lot of times sap won't remove from the car unless it's being polished, and in other cases it's not too bad, and you can use something that's acidic to remove the water, the tree sap that is on the car. But tree sap can cause etching. Sometimes you can watch videos where people are saying, oh, this was a $40 exterior detail. Okay, that's not a detail. That's a car wash. You are not going around that car. Exterior detail involves you using iron remover, your clay bar in the exterior of the car, and you may polish a few panels that may have some light scratching. It's just as a free add-on to the customer and everything. But if the customer doesn't know about it and you go to polish it, you're really not doing anything. You could tell them, hey, you had some scratches on this door and I went ahead and I gave you a free polish. And then you can show them, and then they're like, they don't know that the scratches were there. And they're just sitting there looking like, oh, okay. So now you just wasted your time doing a service for somebody, and that person didn't even require it. And then at the same time, they don't know that anything has changed. Now, if you have an area in the car where the car is full of scratches, you can offer, say, hey, you got a lot of scratches over the trunk here or all over the car. I can do half of the trunk just to show you what would be the difference. And then on a later date, especially if you have another client that you have to get to on a later date, I can come in and I can finish the car. We'll talk about the prices at that point. So if that person wants you to go ahead and do it, then you can go ahead and do it, and you can show them a little difference on a little part of the car, like the hood, doing half of the hood or the trunk area. But all in all, the purpose of this video was to make sure that people understand that every detailer will have a set price for certain services. And if you're going to go to their website, please read all of the information. Like on my website, I probably have way too much for people to read. I went on there and I read all the information, and it took me less than 2 minutes to read the information. But it doesn't mean that other people will, look at it. It may be just too complicated and everything. But I'm kind of glad that it is complicated, because I want them to call me so that we can run over the details and pick the perfect package for their detail, instead of there being an assumption that they could just go with the basic and their car is going to look brand new, and at the same time they haven't had any maintenance done to it in 1 or 2 or 3 years, thinking that, oh, it's not that bad. Well, I can still do the maintenance detail on the car, but it's not going to look perfect at the end of the day. I can't take the additional time. Last time I did that to a guy's car, he chose the basic, and I ended up spending 5 hours on the car. So I gave him a little bit more, but in certain areas a little bit less. But nevertheless, I took too long on that one vehicle. It was the last vehicle that I was going to do it today. I really didn't care, and it wasn't like he was blowing up my phone to get the car back and everything. So I ended up taking 5 hours. I hit him up right before I was done, because he had to take an Uber to come back and pick up his car. But he got there, and when he opened up the door, he was smiling from me. Not from ear to ear. I was about to say ear to ear, but that's crazy. But he was smiling real hard. So he was happy with the work. But I did show him a lot of the areas that didn't get hit because it wasn't a deep clean. And if he was to reschedule a deep clean within the next 6 months, then I'll be able to take care of all of those areas, and certain places that were like on his car seat, like on the driver's seat, where there's a lot of oil and dye from his clothes and skin cells and everything. I showed him like, hey, it's lighter. It's just not perfect right now. And that's due to it being a basic and not a deep clean. It would have took me about 7 hours to finish that car if I would have did a deep clean, and that is outside of it drying. But anyway, when you watch videos, understand that some detailers, they know what they're doing. Some detailers, they don't know what they're doing. Some people are just watching people and figuring out what they need, and they go out and buy it, and they just go out and they try to make some money, but they don't really know, or they listen to the wrong people, and they're using the wrong chemicals to clean the car, and the exterior of the car, don't really know how to polish a car, and don't know how to put ceramic coatings on the car. So yes, you do need to know more about detailing than watching a few videos and everything. So please like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next one.